The Civil War began with an outburst of patriotic feeling on both sides, and the belief that a few battles would result in a swift victory. It ended with the deaths of 750,000 soldiers, and a nation shaken to its core. This epic trauma shattered old assumptions and rewarded radically new thinking. It triggered a cultural upheaval that made an older generation suddenly obsolete and demanded novelty, innovation, experimentation. Mark Twain was 25 years old when the war broke out. Born and raised on the Missouri frontier, he fled the fighting in his home state for the far west, the sparsely settled region beyond the Rocky Mountains. There he found another frontier, and a social experiment unlike any in the country. In 1848, the gold rush began in California, triggering a swift influx of people from all corners of the world and making San Francisco into a booming global metropolis. By the time Twain got there, the city still roared. Its citizens spent lavishly. They drank 7 bottles of champagne for every one drunk in Boston. They also created a thriving publishing culture. California was always crawling with writers, and by the 1860s, the city had spawned an extraordinary literary scene, a band of outsiders called the Bohemians. Bret Harte was their leader, immaculately dressed, savagely ironic, and the rising young star of the literary West. There was also Charles Warren Stoddard, the boy wonder of the Bohemians, and Ina Coolbrith, who later became the first poet laureate of California. The Bohemians benefited from the disruptions of the 1860s, as the Civil War upended the moral certainties of America and created rifts in the culture wide enough for new voices to be heard. They would bring a fresh spirit to American writing, drawn from the new world being formed in the West. Twain joined their ranks, and the encounter would shape the entire current of his life.